scary. Getting scary. Political talks are scary, my friend. This is Political Powers. An episode, actually, I'm really...
Endorses lying. You're gonna go all Avatar Canyon on this, aren't you?
Yes and no.
Ow!
No, because it's like...
I wanted to see a freak out.
I'm not a politician, and anyone,
that's for damn sure.
no, anyone that knows me knows I really hate politics, the left, right, and all that stuff.
Except for Trump.
Except for Trump. Oh, yeah, he's a darling. Trump's a darling. I mean, he's going all the way. But I hate all that stuff. But and I don't like all the corruption, the lying, all that stuff. But at the same time, I can't act like I don't understand it, or that we've gotten so deep that there's this idea like we can't just do Fight Club and blow everything up and start from scratch again. So there has to be,
we're setting them free.
there has to be some stability, and there has to be compromise. And anyone that says, "Oh, that's the real, true, honest politician" and stuff, it's like almost by definition they can't exist because people would just tear them apart and panic and go insane, I think, if we did kind of know the truth.
You are Jack's raging rationalization.
It's one of those things where it's like, anytime like some sort of new shocking thing about the government comes out, like when they said, we're all being tapped, we're all being listened to, I mean, it's like, well, that sucks, but like, didn't we always kind of know this? I mean, wasn't there always kind of that thought, like, yeah, we're all just kind of...
Oh, there's some assholes who endorse that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, just... I always kind of figure...
No, we have to give up our freedoms to preserve our freedoms. Don't you get it?
It's one of those things where it's like, I kind of already assume we're kind of screwed in many ways, so it's just make what you can and just do what you can. I mean, because, like, no politician has all the... No one person has all the answers. Nobody knows exactly how to fix things. You just have to go with
Doug,
kind of the best choice.
Donald would disagree with you. He clearly has all the answers.
You're wrong. So... Because there is no... I mean, all these politicians, I mean, like many people, I don't trust a lot of them because, again, it's just kind of the setup we've made. But it's kind of like we have to make it because... Yeah, if everybody did know everything that was going on, we were 100% honest and stuff like that, people would freak. I mean, people would just go insane, and we do want to hop on things and judge and panic and, all these things. So it's like, I kind of understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it's kind of how a lot of it has to be.
Man.
So...
I wish I had bought some tap shoes for you.
No, but that really is my thought. Like, and I don't know the answers either. I don't know, like, hey, this is what needs to be and this is what we need to change. I have no idea. I'm not in politics. Even if I was, I wouldn't know all the behind-the-scenes stuff. So you just gotta compromise and do the best that you can. And I kind of like that there's something that says, hey, yeah, there's constant manipulation everywhere, even outside of politics. You just gotta do the best with it, and there is a reason it exists. And like I said, I don't like it, and I think there's some things that are worth really pointing out and saying, hey, you need to know the truth about this, but yeah, if we worried about everything, I mean, all the legit fears out there, I mean, we would never fucking leave. Hell, even if we stay in our houses, there's probably a million things that can kill us and stuff, so it's one of those things where you just gotta balance it out and take the risks, so... I don't know, I just like that there is an episode that says, hey, yeah, there's a lot of lying, a lot of manipulation, but there is a reason for it, and it's not all just to consume and destroy your puny minds. There is a legit reason of trying to keep peace and harmony as well. But, I don't know.
I'd say you would have a great career in politics.
No, I don't want to know the truth. I want to stay in my benign bubble. No, it's one of those things where anytime it's like, do you know all the terrible things that are going on? It's like, no, and I like it that way. What, you don't believe it? No, I do believe it. That's the problem.
And you're the reason the world's gone to shit.
So, but yeah, there's kind of a point there too. It's like, how long do you just say, whatever, it'll figure itself out. I mean, it's just, it's part of that balance. You have to vote, you have to go out there, you have to make choices.
My philosophy always is, if ignorance is bliss, why aren't there more happy people? So,
yeah, no, all of that, it's
So there it is. Lying is okay. You have to vote. Words
If there's
of wisdom
anything we want you to take.
from candidate Doug.
I don't believe in you. I don't believe in myself. That should be the campaign slogan.
I wish I could say he was on something, but I was here the whole time. He wasn't smoking anything.
Okay, well, what do you take out of it? You think this episode is just pure, no, we deserve to know everything, the truth, and it's lying is never ever good? I mean, is that what you're taking?
Oh no, I was completely fine with that. I was just enjoying making fun of you. No, actually,
But I like that Steven does say, no, I'm ready, I want to know this. You know, I like that he sort of takes it upon himself as well.
But he wouldn't have realized that had he not overheard them. So in theory, had he not just stumbled upon that, first off, I gotta call a little bit of bullshit here. Steven seems to have been here for most of this, and yet he can't put two and two together.
I agree, yeah.
They're like tiptoeing, like at the beginning of the episode, they were completely tiptoeing around to like, oh, when we meet with Peridot, he has to have known.
Yeah.
Like, how could he not?
No, I
He
agree.
heard the message from Lapis.
I mean, that seems more like, hey, we're gonna bend, you know, sort of logic a little bit to get this message across. But I agree with you. I'm like, they're still quote unquote
But
hiding this. I mean, there's really
going
nothing
on the
hide.
assumption though that for some reason he doesn't. He only found out then by accident that he even needed to inquire further. Otherwise, they could have been successful keeping it a secret. And who knows, considering the fact that Steven plays such an integral part in the show and seems to help them out randomly, what a fucking disaster that would have been. So, no, I don't think lying's the best thing you can do.
Well, no, not necessarily. How do I put it?
You lying, thieving whore.
No, I think there is a time where it's like I said, there's always this manipulation going on. And I think a lot of the time it's done because they feel that the people
Now, here's the
can't
thing.
handle it. But Steven stood up and said, I can handle it, please tell me.
If the mayor was lying specifically to protect Steven and the gems, I could kind of see that because they were an angry, unruly mob, but I didn't get that vibe from him. I just got he wanted to save his own ass, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be on tonight." Like so.
Well, and then it's kind of weird because there was clearly a politician at least has a plan. They'll lie, but they'll have a plan for it. He had no plan later that night. I thought that was a little weird.
Well, he had no plan. He had no second excuse. He could have just been honest in as much as he says, "I don't know what the issue is." If he didn't want to out them. The gems, like so.
I actually like your idea. No, I like your idea.
It was very weird.
It would have been stronger. It would have been better. You're right. If it was to protect Steven and the gems, because he knew that wouldn't get anywhere. So
I
he
didn't
had to
quite
make
get
it
that vibe
lie.
though. I got more just. Oh, I want to protect my own job, sirs. Please don't show me another crappy movie.
And I think it's where he didn't want to spread panic. I do legitimately believe that. But I think you're right. It would have been made stronger if it was to protect the gems and Steven and not have this big battle going on. Because, yeah, the gems are kind of like, no, we're not doing that, which I guess I kind of get because they're trying to figure out how to save the universe and everything, but it still seemed a little douchey. Just like, nope, not doing it. So, I don't know. It's tricky because I think with... Okay, like you have a child, and you're gonna tell a child that, like, where Santa Claus exists, then he doesn't exist. But, like, what point do you tell him? What point
Santa doesn't exist!
Well, some find out later than others. But it's one of those things where it's like, at what point do you let them know? Because you can't just let them know right away. It's hard to let a kid know about death right away, or a war right away, or all these terrible things. I think it's the same way. There's kind of like this,
But he's a fucking gem! He's not just an ordinary kid. Like, if... Here's the thing. Then they shouldn't have brought him in on these adventures to begin with. If that's what they're really concerned about, then why the hell expose him to any of this?
No, fair point. That's a totally fair point. I guess what I get out of this is very much the... what I kind of call the Lion King Cinderella message, which is like, if you look at this very literally... The story does not support the message, but the message, I think, is still very clear. So, it's kind of like pick your poison. With both Cinderella and Lion King, like, I got the message, but I'm still like, this doesn't really follow through with what's actually going on in the story, technically, if you really look at it. but most people watching don't look at the details. I think they look at the overall picture.
I
so
get it. They did it
doesn't bother me
because
that
they
much.
love him, but that still doesn't necessarily make it right. Like that, it certainly, in my opinion, was not a good call.
No, I don't think that was the point, though. I think the point was to show that when people do hide stuff, it's not always to hurt you. A lot of times, it's to protect you. I think that's the main message. And a lot of times in politics, I think that is true. A lot of times, it's not. They are doing it just to hide their own asses and get away with terrible things. But I think there is, like, it's always like, if there's a lie or a secret or something, it's automatically bad. You know, it's just something terrible. But there are times where, I mean, at least I can say in my life, where it's like, I wasn't ready to hear something, or I had to discover it at a different pace.
So they have their reasons. I'm just saying that doesn't mean that the decision they made was right. They did it out of fear, out of love, or out of whatever, but it's like, it just confuses me because, again, they seem to be wrapping him up in all of this gem stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, now we have to keep it a secret.
No, if you want to get to the technicals, I think you're right. I think there's probably a better, stronger way that this could have been done.
I would have been pissed.
Again, I think you're right. But there is kind of that. I think because there is that inconsistency with, like, him quote unquote not figuring it out, which you're right. I mean, he would know this. He was there. He saw all of this.
It's one of the few times I gotta be like, it's bothering me from a storytelling perspective, because generally the storytelling I think's been pretty strong, but this is one of those cases where I'm like, how could he not, like, it's like, well, then that means you were pretty much, like, retooling this story in a way that it didn't make sense just to support this whole move that they did. And I don't know.
You're right. I mean, you're not wrong about that, and I can see how that would, you know, drive a person a little mad, like, hey, wait a minute, like, logically, with everything else, this doesn't add up.
I feel like there was probably a better way to tell the same story.
I like your way. I like the way about trying to protect Steven and the gems, and, you know, or stop, even protect the people from them. If they tried to riot against them, of course, they would probably beat the crap out of them. That could have been shown a little better, too, like, why he's doing this. It would have been nice to, I mean, they tap on it, but it would have been nice if they showed that there really was kind of this protective side of him that did have this plan. Like, he cares so much that he had a plan.
Ocean Town or Ocean City or whatever. Ooh.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to them.
That was a sad day, dude. You don't know?
Was that Atlantis?
You don't fucking read the papers, do you, man?
I am behind on it.
So much blood.
I'm sure Trump said it was a good thing.
Those poor kids.
But
and that puppy.
Just one puppy in the entire town. Wow.
There were like 1,000 kittens too. And the baby seals. Can't forget about the baby. Oh god, it was a mess.
Someone's gonna do, like,
I did love that line
of Ocean City being destroyed with all the things
Ocean City or whatever. Too soon.
So, no, I see where you're coming from, and I can see someone not liking this episode because of that.
I didn't hate it.
No, but I see your problems with it.
But I'm like, there's some issues going on here. Like, first and foremost, just the plot points not adding up. I'm like, he should have known, and if not, it really didn't explain why he was hiding that. I don't know.
No, you're probably right. It didn't bother me as much because I thought it was a legit interesting message, but I agree they could have gotten it across a little better. I'm just surprised
after you going off on that Avatar episode that this one gets, like, a pass, so I don't know.
Well, no, because it's still...
Because I didn't like
because
Avatar episode that much, but I didn't freak out as much about it as you did. And this one, I just thought you would be like, rubble.
No, I think it's more because with them, they never stepped up. They never wanted to know the truth. They never wanted to understand. And I think with this one, Steven does want to understand.
It's like the American electorate.
Okay, Steven does want to understand. Even the people kind of listen, and when Steven says Steven says the truth. He says he was trying to protect you because he cares about you. That's why this lie was made. It was not, I'm going to tell another lie on top of this lie. So I think that balances out a little bit more. And by the way, that episode I would not have minded as much if Aang didn't just make it up and stop there. I mean, that's where I'm just like, I don't know about this, but yeah, even then, I can't say that was like, I don't know. I didn't hate as much as everyone else did, but that ending did bother me. But it is tricky. It's very hard to say when it's right, if it's even a matter of right or wrong. I mean, sometimes it's just what's the best choice you can make, or the, you know, the less of two evils. So it's a tricky subject, and I can't act like And that's probably why you're probably right that with such a tricky subject matter, like there should have been a little bit more thought put into the details of it so that it added up a little bit more. But it's such an interesting idea and message and topic to talk about, especially for a kid show. I didn't mind it that bad, but you're right. I would have liked it a little stronger, a little better in the planning.
Start off liking episode, end with saying I'm right. You would make a good politician.
Thank you. I try. Vote Walker. He will not be my vice.
Oh. I thought I always was your vice.
That's a good joke to end on.